until the philosophy which holds one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. Everywhere is war until there's no longer first-class or second-class citizens of any nation, until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eyes. I've got to say war. That until the basic human rights are equally guaranteed to all without regard to race, I say war. Until that day, the dream of lasting peace, world citizenship, and the rule of international morality will remain just a fleeting illusion to be pursued but never attained. And everywhere is war until the ignoble and unhappy regime which holds all of us through child abuse, yeah, child abuse, yeah, subhuman bondage has been toppled, utterly destroyed. Everywhere is war, war in the east, war in the west, war up north, war down south. There's war and the rumors of war. Until that day, there is no continent which will know peace. Children, children, fight. We find it necessary. We know we will win. We have confidence in the victory of good over evil. Fight the real enemy. Evil. Fight the real enemy.
Note the utter silence she was met with after she had sung. She was ostracized thereafter. This lady had lived a tortured life, especially after this performance on Saturday Night Live. She was brilliant and well studied on history and geopolitics, but not disconnected from the emotion of people.
Action.
Okay. My name is Sinead O'Connor. I'm an Irish woman and I'm an abused child. The only reason that I ever opened my mouth to sing was so that I could tell my story and have it heard. The cause of my abuse is the history of my people, whose identity and culture were taken away from them by the British with full permission from the Holy Roman Empire, which they gave for money and in the name of Jesus Christ. The only hope for me as an abused child was to look back into my childhood and face some very difficult memories and some very painful feelings and a lot of really awful conversations. I had to have it acknowledged what was done to me so that I could forgive it and then be free. So it occurred to me that the only hope of recovery for my people is for us to look back into our history and face some very difficult truths and some really frightening feelings. It must be acknowledged what was done to us so that we can forgive and then be free. If the truth remains hidden, then the brutality under which I grew up will continue for thousands of Irish children. And I must, by any means necessary, without the use of violence, prevent that from happening because I am a Christian. Child abuse to me is the highest manifestation of evil. Its existence in a society proves that there is no contact with God. It is the root and effect of every addiction. The Catholic Church have controlled us by controlling our education. Through their teachings on sexuality, marriage, birth control and abortion, and most particularly through the lies that they taught us with their history books. The story of my people is the story of the African people, the Jewish people, the Indian people, the South American people, and zillions of other people. My own story is the story of countless millions of children whose families and nations were torn apart for money and in the name of Jesus Christ. God is supposed to be truth.
This recording took place the next day after her appearance on Saturday Night Live. If you're curious to know more about the Irish history and what she's talking about, you can get a copy of the book called Story of the Irish Race by Seumas Macmanus. The link for that book is in the notes. You can get it at Amazon or someplace else, but there it is for you. She had also angered many when, in 1990, when she insisted that the national anthem not be played prior to her performance. She said, "I sincerely harbor no disrespect for America or Americans, but I have a policy of not having any national anthems played before my concerts, in any country, not even my own, because they have nothing to do with music in general." End quote. About her mother, she said, she was not well. She was very, very, very not well. I would say she was possessed, although I'm not sure I believe in such things. She ran a torture chamber. It was a torture chamber. She was a person who took delight and smile in hurting you, she explained, before revealing she ran away from home when she was just 13. I ran away. She used to make me say over and over, I am nothing, or else she'd beat me, Sinead had added. I am fed up of being defined as the crazy person, the child abuse survivor. Now, last year, Sinead had posted an emotionally turbulent video about her mental illness. If I didn't know better, I would say she was given terribly faulty programming, and she's possibly a targeted individual. But she tenaciously hangs on to reality, and you know that because she knows there's something terribly wrong. I am concerned today, though, for her because of the news, especially regarding the Catholic Church and its responsibility in the abuse of children spanning decades in Pennsylvania. I am personally happy that the church is finally getting the blazing light of truth shown on the abuse it perpetuated for possibly thousands of years. I take this personally. Why? When I was a girl, I told a priest of the abuse in my foster home. Confessions are supposed to be kept absolutely secret. The priest told the abusers. So, yeah, I'm feeling a bit vindicated today with the Catholic Church being exposed. When Sinead exposed them back then, she was the vanguard. No, she was not out of her time. Absolutely not. This exposure and vindication for millennia of children should have happened a millennia ago. Here's a coinkydink for you to digest. Hollywood has been getting the squint eye lately about pedophilia and sexual harassment. My Millstone report has been pretty busy. Note that Hollywood and the Catholic Church has worked together a lot to collaborate on movies, just like the military-industrial complex gives assistance to all scripts that meets its approval. So too does the Catholic Church. Now, I do wonder if this particular investigation and the results thereof is a culmination or a result designed to keep our eyes off of Hollywood. Because if you notice, every time pedophilia is brought up in Hollywood, that all of a sudden there's something else to take our eye away from it. Some other kind of conspiracy, such as women being sexually harassed in Hollywood. Notice the Me Too movement took over all the pedophilia news that was coming out of Hollywood. You guys notice that? I did. Now that the Me Too movement has, run its course, the pedophilia people are digging into the pedophilia in Hollywood again, and bam! here is the Catholic Church on the East Coast, and it's in trouble now. Now, granted, this has been a long investigation that took place, but bottom line is we keep on digging, we keep after them, and stay after them, and do not relent. Be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to support me, you can support me at PayPal. The address would be truthfrequencynews@gmail.com. Thank you, and I appreciate all the support already. Find your quantum connections at tfrlive.com.